for Antietam using the Glory 3 system for the 160th anniversary. We're up to 11 a.m. and we have some situations here for the Union that are going to be causing some headaches for them to recover from, hopefully. First one, and most importantly, is Hooker up here has really been hit hard by Jackson in terms of counterattacks and forcing him back away from Dunker Church and even the cornfield. Now you can see the cornfield is now threatened, and that's going to be the first area that the Union is going to have to concentrate on to try to stabilize. Meanwhile, Jackson may still keep pushing. I'm not sure how far they will go, as there's no victory conditions for them to keep pushing, other than taking pressure off of other areas of the field. Over here towards the center left for the Confederates, it has looked a little bit better as they have stopped the entire Second Corps from attacking up the hill towards the sunken road. Basically, Hill's three brigades right here have held off long enough for them to push back, and you can see there's a number of the Second Corps' units that are still disordered that need to recover some way, shape, or form. And just above it, the 12th up here has the same fate. They have been beat up quite a bit. Now we have D.R. Jones here coming up and stabilizing the line, taking pressure off of Jackson's units of J.R. Jones, Lawton, and Hood, who's kind of attached to Jackson for this battle. And you can see in the background here, McLaws is still in good shape as reserve. So all in all, Confederates are in a good position. Union is in a tough position. Now, starting off this turn, there's going to be no new AMs for the Union. We'll stay at 3 a.m. Confederates, of course, have their full boat within there. Now, the Union did win the initiative, and they will be starting. Again, we're going to be starting with Hooker's corps to start this off, only because Hooker's in a pretty desperate position up here. So he's being pushed a little bit from the center by Jackson's corps, and then cordoned by Stuart over here, enough that they'll need to respond as Stuart has positioned Pelham's artillery over here to bombard him, and hopefully Doubleday can recover enough of his units to potentially attack, or Ricketts or Doubleday, while Meade holds off the front. So with that said, let's see how we're going to do here. So we're actually going to start, I think, over here with Ricketts, his units to get moving first, because he's got a couple here that need to recover. His artillery can try to potentially stop the Confederates over here, or beat them up a little bit. Let's see, he's got units here, 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 and here, so they could potentially threaten. They're all in range to 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. So they're all in range, so they're in good position to potentially do something here. And he could actually go 1, 2, attack up through here. They could retire, but that would alleviate some pressure. So again, let's start with Ricketts. Ricketts battery over here, fire down the road at Smokestown Road at the 2nd Reserve over here. So that's going to be +2 for strength. It's going to be a range of 3. He's an L, so he's in range, so it's +0, and nothing for terrain. So it's going to be a 9 with a +2 on the dice. Rolls a 9, +2 is 11, so that's a cohesion check for the Confederates. So first off, reserve artillery, he's a 7, rolls a 3, he's okay. Next we have Law B underneath, he's also a 7, And he rolls a 7 as well, so he's okay. So they have fired. And now we'll move on to the units themselves. Now, Christian over here will stay put. He's got to kind of hold the line over here. We've also got, with Ricketts himself, Duryea needs to recover. Hartsoff needs to recover as well, so they won't move. Now, the only one I think will move is Hartsoff B, which I think he will come forward 1, and then up the hill 2, and threaten, or push an attack, flank attack on Stuart, Fitzhugh Lee, and Stuart's battery up here. So they will immediately retire. So they'll actually retreat 2 hexes. And let me just adjust so that you can see this here a little bit better. There we go. So they will need to retire. They will actually come down the hill 1, 2, this way, and this way. Wind up facing this way here. Still a threat, but off of the hill and off of the threat of bombarding the rear of Hooker. So I think we'll pivot them like that too. There we go. Okay, the last thing we'll do is the 2 recoveries. We'll do Hartsoff A. He has a 5. He'll need a 5 or less. Rolls a 7. Doesn't get it. And then with Ricketts, he's a 5. He's a 5 or less. Rolls a 9. Doesn't get it. So they're kind of stuck there. So that is all for Ricketts. Now we'll move to Meade. He can recover. Let's do Meade here first. So Meade's artillery is going to fire straight ahead. It's going to be a +3 for strength. He's a medium range, which is a +2 on his guns, so it's going to be a +5. Terrain is not going to matter, so it's a 9 with a +5 on the dice. Rolls a 1. Boy, his canister shots are still not there. Now, the rest of Meade, we've got Seymour up here. He's got to stay there. He's got to recover. He's actually going to move forward, I think. Yeah, I think he's going to move 1, 2. Oh, they're in the orchard, so that's going to... actually, he's just going to move to there, I think, and stay in the woods. He can't really attack because he'd have to attack forward. All of these guys, and that just wouldn't be good. So he's going to try to recover Magdalene here. 5, needs a 5 or less. Rolls a 7, doesn't get it. So recoveries are not going well for the 1st Corps on here, which is not going to be very good. Comes Doubleday. Doubleday's recovering. He's got 1 unit here, 2 units here, 3rd unit under here. 4th unit is off map. He's been destroyed. And then the key thing here is his artillery. Do they hold or do they retreat? Fight another day. I think they're going to have to retreat. I really don't like it, but I think 1 is going to go in here with Seymour. And he can actually face slightly differently. And the 2nd one is going to go back here with Magdalene like that. Opens up the flank on here, but you know, there's not much I can do, and really we've got to look to get Doubleday's troops back in line here. So Phelps, 5 or less. Doesn't get it. Gibbon, 6 or less. Doesn't get it. Does not get it. 1st Corps is looking pretty tough. But that's the end of the turn or activation for them. So we'll move on to the next one. And here comes Jackson. He's oops, how are you there? There you go. He's going to push the attack. So no artillery shots. We will do some movements here because we want to retire him. I think I'll just take a step back there so we can essentially rally at some point, but not this turn. And then we'll also bring up Warren, 1, and then 2 into here. He'll have to go on the bottom. And I think they will look to attack him here. Now the other thing is what to do with this other Jones unit. And I think he's going to move 2 into there, and he's moving downhill. Yeah, there's no more. So 2, 4. He's going to use strategic moving 6. And that would be 8, but he's going to go over the stream, which is going to be +1, so he can't make it. So he's going to stop there. And the other one is going to stay right there, I believe. I think he's good at the moment. Okay, so we've got one attack over here. We've got Grigsby, Warren, and Penn going against Seymour with Doubleday's cannons. So that will be just 1. So it'll be +2, +2, +2 for artillery, +2 artillery disorder with a infantry units 4. Open ground is 5. He needs a 7 or higher. U +5 is 7, just gets it. So they're disordered. That takes them out of the attack. So now the attack is going to be these two, which is going to be 4 against 3. So it's on the positive side of 1-to-1, but they're in woods, so there's going to be no bonus. In fact, they're going to get a -1 for that. In terms of cohesions, it's 6-to-6, so that's 0 as well. And then terrain is a -1, so it's going to be a 5 with a -1 on the dice. Okay, let's see what happens. You roll a 2, goes down to a 1, automatic disorder, then cohesion check for retreat. So the Confederate attack fails. They are both disordered. And Jackson might be rethinking this. Now for cohesion checks, Grigsby, he needs a 5, rolls a 3, and then the guy underneath him, Warren, rolls a 2. So they don't have to retreat, but they are disordered. All right, and that's it. So that did not work out too well. Jones is going to have to pull back, and that might have helped save the first corps right there, because now it's a little difficult for them to attack up across here. But we'll take a look at Lawton now. His artillery, not much to fire at, so they won't fire. Movement here, got to pull some units back from just for recovery. So he's going to go back 1 and stop right there, I think. He's going to go back 1, 2, yeah, 2 into there. And then, well, they'll have to stop there. And then early A will come up like so. Lawton will just stay where he is. Both those units can't recover. I think the other units will just stay where they are for the moment. Okay. So that's Jones, that's Lawton. We've got the reserve artillery as well, and most of them are right, I believe, within camera range here. We've got this one here, right here. We've got this one here, here, one back here, but he's not moving, and then one way over here. It's not moving. So let me flip you back over to the other camera for the reserve artillery. So again, starting again, we have the one unit over here. He does not have any targets. Not sure that he needs to move at the moment, so he's not going to do anything. This guy, oh no, he's not blocked in, sorry. He could, oh no, he can't. He's down below, so he can't shoot anything. Same thing with him. Actually, he can shoot straight ahead. And I apologize, I could have returned fire before, but again, fog of war. So he's firing straight ahead. 1, 2, 3, short range. He should be in range, so it's a strength of 3. Plus 3 on the dice, so 9 with a plus 3. 6 plus 3 is 9. Cohesion tests for artillery there. First one, 7, rolls a 6, they're okay. And then the 12th artillery, they're both okay. So they can counter battery. Actually, both of them will counter battery. They'll take the strength of the 12th, which is plus 4, and then combined with stacked artillery firing is going to make plus 6. Range, he's an L, he's an L, so they're in range, so there's nothing there. And then nothing for the terrain. So it's going to be a plus 6, 9 with a plus 6, rolls a 1. So the return fire gets nowhere. And the initial fire gets nowhere. Strange dice. Okay. So that takes care of them. There's one back here, which he's blocked. He's not going to be able to fire and doesn't really need to move. So he'll sit tight. And then the third one over here, he'll actually move up, I think. So he could go 2 to there, and then 4 to there. And that will allow them to set up for more defense against the Second Corps. And the last one here is D.H. Hill. He's over in this area. So okay, D.H. Hill has these units over here. They're all in good shape, you know, holding out against the Second Corps. Do have one unit that can shoot at Crawford. He's a plus 1 strength, range, gets him nothing, and it will be plunging fire, so they do get another plus 1 for 2. 9 with plus 2 on the dice. 8, that's a miss. So he misses. So next we have movement, which I'm not sure really if there's going to be anything. He's good holding the ground there. These guys are fine. These guys are okay. The only thing I think we'll do is we'll pivot them there. Like so. They're not going to attack at all. Just kind of hold the line. Keep them, keep the Second Corps off the hill and out of the sunken road. Okay, so that's all for Jackson. So let's take this off. And we'll move on to the next one. So our next one is going to be Longstreet. And take a look at Longstreet's situation. Still nothing down south here. I should zoom you out. There we go. And tip you back a little bit so you can see. And here, there we go. So still nothing down south developing around Burnside's Bridge because no activations for the 9th Corps, 5th Corps, or the 6th Corps back here. So Walker will not do anything. In the middle we have Anderson, we have Evans. Their position, they could do some shooting with their artillery, and I think that's what we'll start with over here. So in here we've got Anderson's guns right here. They can shoot. They could shoot at Anderson's guns right there, which they're out of commission. So they're going to try shooting at them. 1, 2, 3. They're in range. Strength of 3. It's not plunging fire, so it's a 9 with a +3. 7. That's a miss. I should say 4 + 3 is 7, and that's a miss. Then we have Anderson's artillery up here. Again, shooting at Richardson's here. Try to knock out that artillery. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're in range. So it's a +2. It is plunging fire, so 3. 9 with a +3 on the dice. 9 + 3 is 12. So that is a cohesion test. Guns are 7. Roll a 6. So they're still in good shape. So they're firing misses. So next is any type of movement we want to do, and I think we're in good shape movement-wise. So let's leave them there, and next I think potentially take a look at the reserve artillery. Again, the reserve's back here, not much to shoot at. They'll hold their fire. We do have the reserves here and here for Longstreet, which will shoot. So these guys shooting over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anderson again. Let's go as tempting target. So we'll take the reserves. 1, 2, 3, 4. Their range of 4. They're short. So that's going to be a -1. So that would be 4 + 2 for stacked. 6 -1 is 5. Plunging fire is 6. Yeah, we'll do all of that. So it's going to be a +6. Plunging fire on Anderson's guns. So 9 with a +6 on the dice. 8 + 6 is 14. That's an automatic disorder, so Richardson's guns are destroyed. They're gone. No chance to recover those. Okay, so that's this reserve. Next we'll go with this one. They'll fire ahead at Sedgwick's brigade here. Part of Howard's brigade, Sedgwick's division. They're a 1. It's not plunging fire. They're within range, so it's a 9 with a +1 on the dice. That's a 2. That's a miss. Okay, so that should do it for the reserves. Next, we'll take Evans while we're over here. Evans artillery, they're in good shape. I mean, they could take pot shots. No, they can't see them over there because they're blocked. And this is blocking terrain over here. Well, yeah, they could see down, but nothing really exciting here for Evans. They could take a shot at Sedgwick artillery, but then they'd be shooting back. So I think Evans will stay tight and hold off. So that's all for the reserves. Moving up the chain here, we've got McLaws here. Again, he's reserve, so there's not much really he needs to do. Oops, I'm sorry, you can't see McLaws, can you? There's McLaws. So there is McLaws right here. He has not much to do, so we'll leave him alone. Brings us up to Law, or Hood, with Law's units. And I think there's one unit, yeah, Wilford's got to recover. First off, artillery. 2 artillery units here and here. Nothing really to shoot at, so no shooting. Movement. We've got Hood on here. I think they're fine. Law's in good shape out here. He's not moving. I think they're all good. I think the only thing is going to be Wilford trying to recover. He is a 6. They'll need a 6 or better. Rolls a 3, so they're back in good shape. So they're in good shape there. Moving on to the next, it's going to be Stewart. Alright, that's number 4. So let's see. Stewart is up here, way up here. Stewart here a little bit. So we've got, oop, a little awkward to see them all. I think we can see them all. We've got these back here. Yeah, you can't see these back here. Well, we'll start with this and then I'll reposition the camera a little bit. So Stewart we've got up here. We've got him up here threatening flank, which is great. That's what he needs to do. And then they're strung out all along there to provide some threat. I really don't want them to attack at all. But I think we'll have the Pelham artillery take a shot up here. So he's a 1. He's in range, so it's a +1. A 9 with a +1 on the dice. So he misses. It's a miss. That's okay. I think in terms of movement, he's going to move up to here, provide a little bit more coverage. And I think we're going to try to get Hampton. Oh, I do have Jones up here as well, don't I? Yeah, he'll fire into here. I know I moved him already, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3. It's +2 for strength. It's firing into woods, which should make no difference, and it doesn't. So +2, range of 3. Needs a 9 or better. Rolls a 3 + 2 is 5. Okay. How else can we threaten and be a nuisance? Do you think they're going to move 1, 2, 3, and then into the woods up here for cavalry? It's going to be +3, so that's going to be 6. So they're done right there. And then we'll move another one up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Okay. And then Mumford's going to be okay down there with guarding the lower fords. And then we just have another one of Stewart's artillery units that came up with Hampton. I think he'll keep them in reserve with McLaws back there as well. So, okay, so that's all for Stewart, I think. Not a lot. He's just being a pest, to be quite honest. Oops. And that's all we want him to be. Next, what do we have coming up here? We have Jackson again. All right, so Jackson comes out. That's going to be number 5. Yeah, okay, that's 2, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So Jackson is coming into the attack again. So I think we'll start over here with Jones. Jones is in a tough position. He's got to pull units back. And I think he's got to pull back him to go 1, 2, 3. He can recover. He can't recover because he moved. I think he has to stay there, and he stays there. Actually, he's going to take a step back into the cornfield. There'll be no rally. Good. All right, I think that's it. And the only other thing is with Stark back here. He's going to try to recover. He's a 6. Needs a 6 or less. Also 2, so he's back in good order. Tough to get these Confederates. particularly when you don't have the AMs from the Union side. Okay, so next, moving on to Lawton. Lawton's artillery, nothing to shoot at. Like to advance on him, but not sure about that artillery, even though they're getting low rolls. I think it's just best to keep them back and try to get some recoveries going here. So I think we're going to recover Walker, 6 or less. Rolls an 8, doesn't get it. Hayes needs a 6 or less. Rolls a 1. So that's all for Lawton. Okay, and then we can move over to Hill. Again. Hill's artillery would take a shot over here. It's 1 with a plunging fire plus 2. 9 with a plus 2. Rolls a 6. That's a miss. And that'll be about it, because I really just want to hold off the Union and prepare the attack. Don't really want to counterattack, because I just don't have the strength to do it. Okay, so then we have the reserve artillery. So these guys shooting straight ahead, there'll be a strength of 3, range plus 1 is 4. So it'll be 9 with a plus 4 on the dice. Rolls a 5, plus 4 is 9. That's a cohesion test. Howard A is a 3. Rolls a 7. So he is withdrawn. So he goes up here. That takes care of them from firing. Alright. I'm going to shift us back here a little bit. And we've got these other reserve units. Get into a little bit of counter battery fire here. 3, actually, he's not going to fire. That was dangerous last time, so he's not going to fire. He can't see anybody, so he's okay. He's okay, and he's okay. So I think that's going to be it for Jackson's artillery. Got a very solid defense here. So again, doesn't have to be a very vigorous attack by Jackson. Just needs to push them back, remove units, and kind of go from there. So our next one is going to be, it's going to be Hooker again. Okay, Hooker gets a chance to redeem themselves, or the First Corps, a chance to redeem themselves. So now, what do we do with Hooker? I think we start with Ricketts again. His artillery is going to take a shot at Law over here. It's going to be a plus 2 on the strength, 0 for the range. So it'll be a 9 with a plus 2 on the dice. Rolls a 4. Doesn't get it. Now he's still 1, 2, 3. Yep, he's still in range. He really can't do anything. So they're just going to run away. So I think he stays there. I think the rest of them just recover. So we've got Hearts off A. He needs a 5 or less. Rolls a 2. So he's back in good shape. Second one is Duryea. He needs a 5 or less. Rolls an 8. Doesn't get it. Okay, moving along the line here. Got Doubleday looking to recover, and his artillery can fire. I think we'll do that. His artillery is going to shoot straight ahead. It's going to be plus 3, plus 2 for being next to them for range. So it's going to be plus 5. It's a 9 with a plus 5 on the dice. 6 plus 5 is 11. That's a cohesion test. They're a 5. They roll a 6. So that's going to knock them out. That's going to put them into the withdrawn box. Alright, So that knocks them out. We do have second double day gun. I believe he can, yeah, he can fire through cornfield. He could shoot at them. That'd be 3. Range is 0. So 9 with a +3 on the dice. 9 plus 3 is 12. That's a hit. That is a hit on them. So cohesion test 6. Roll is a 2. All right, they're okay. So double days guns kind of help stabilize things here a bit. Now they've got to do some recovery. So he can't recover, but these guys can certainly try. Phelps, 5 or less. Doesn't get it. Gibbon, 6 or less. Rolls a 1. So he recovers. A little bit of coming back to life for the first corps. Last one is Meade. His artillery firing straight ahead. That's going to be 3. Range is going to be +2. So it's going to be 9 with a +5 on the dice. 6 is 11, so it's a cohesion test. 6. Roll a 0. They're okay. So now for Meade. His unit up here and his unit here. He can recover. He's got to stay there to cover the guns, but he's going to try to recover. So it's going to be a 5 or less. He rolls a 3. So Magdalene recovers, and I think they'll reface that way as well. Okay. So that is all for Hooker. And that brings us to the first half of the 11 a.m. turn. A little bit of stabilization here for the first corps, although they've been pretty much damaged, and with Stewart kind of hovering around there, I'm not sure how effective they're going to be there. They may need to work defensively. We still have 12th Corps needs to recover. Let me zoom you out here a little bit too so you can see it all. 12th Corps needs to recover, and the 2nd Corps needs to do something to get up the hill there to try to break into the sunken road and get that taken. We'll see with that with the next latter half of the turn. We'll still have 5 more chits. Most of them are going to be Union, so we can see if they can do something on the opposite end there. So, thanks for watching. We'll be back with you with the second half of the 11 a.m. turn. Thanks for watching.